Okay, finally, there's one last walking exercise, which is less of a meditation and it's more of a way of developing awareness of the hips. So, same exact thing that we've done before, which means rise up, step, rise up, step. Same as before, except that we're going to add a turn. And by that I mean that when I'm here, I'm going to sit and turn 90 degrees, step into the diagonal, come to here, rise up, turn and sit. And the turn is wholly in the hip joint. So when I'm here, I'm rotating. Notice as I rotate, I'm also sitting down. And now I'm pointing towards the diagonal. Shift, bring the hip in, rise up, sit, step. And this is a way to really emphasize the amount and the range of motion that you have in your hips as you step, right? So a single hip joint, so being balanced on one foot, allows you to move the body and change directions, right? So you can be here, you can be here, right? The whole body turns just from that one hip. So my knee bends and my knee is in line with my foot. So I'm not turning, I'm not torquing the knee to the side. The rotation doesn't come from the knee, it comes from the hip. So as I turn, notice my knee is pointed that way, right? But what I'm doing is I'm opening the hips. So now my hips at a wider angle than before, right? So I'm opening the hips and now it allows me to step in this direction, okay? And then as I step forward, I'm closing the hips. Rise up, open the hips, step, right? So it's an opening and closing of the hips. So we're gonna wanna really explore that relationship and those movements that come from the hips. So again, this is simply, you can do it with or without the arms. Sometimes it's easier with the arms because it really gives you a better sense of the motion of the body, right? I'm here and then whoom, pointing this way now. Ha. Ha, right? Ha. So it's a culmination of all the other exercises. It's more about the turning of the hips than as a meditation or anything else. So sometimes it's, in a way, it's too complicated to really be a good meditation exercise, which is why you want to kind of do it as a work on the hips and letting your mind really fix on the hips to really get that sense of how the hip joint is moving and the relationship between the hip and the knee, right? So you have the hip, knee, foot and the direction that they're expressing and how you can change the angle of the body just from the hip joint. So you want to give yourself the mind space to just focus on that and not do it as a meditation. If you want to do it, the stepping meditation, it's better to do the linear ones because here you can just completely relax, right? All you have to do is think about the breath because it's easier, or simply this walking meditation works just as well. You can get the same also energetic kind of movement up and down. So, but these walking exercises are actually pretty crucial. It's worth spending time doing them often, coming back to them to kind of test yourself or just kind of remind yourself, oh yeah, is your tailbone tucked in, shoulders relaxed, are you vertical, are you doing the same, can you do the same exercise with a slightly different mindset, focusing on something different part of the body, different part of breath. There's a lot to discover just in those walking exercises. So it's worth spending time. Like I said, even if it's just 2 or 3 minutes, multiple times over the day, or if you schedule yourself 20 minutes, half an hour to just do that, either it all works. It's better to do it than to not do it. But these are crucial and they will be, if you do these often until you're comfortable with them, doing the form is just going to be a piece of cake because then you're just adding motion to a core that you've already understood. Okay, so it's worth spending time just on these walking exercises.